halfway through that you had to maybe throw out the game plan and adjust on the fly?
Yeah, the first round was, wasn't going my way and all, but I was trying to stay poised more than anything because in that realm, it's new environments, younger crowd, and, people where they're saying stuff. I don't know the judges. I just had to stay cool, calm, and collected, and I think I adjusted maybe third round or second round, and I just started to pick it up, but it was very difficult for me. A lot of people aren't giving this kid credit. He's pretty good. I didn't realize he was that good.
So. What's up, Uriah? Raul from Low Kick MMA. I just got one quick one for you. You've been very open about going through a depression-like state and talking about your mental health. I just want to know, what is the biggest lesson you learned about yourself during that time?
Good question. To surround myself with the right people, and that energy is a real thing. I had to feed off the right energy because everyone was saying, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And no one was saying, are you okay? No one was saying the right stuff. Are you okay? Do you need something? So I was like, what's next? And it's like, bro, I'm here. I'm trying to figure this shit out. So it was just surrounding myself with the right people. And of course, I stopped talking to almost most of my friends, and some got it, not everyone got it, but it was just paying more attention to me. And even that is scary because then you fall deep in that hole. But I had to handpick these people that I wanted to hang out with, and luckily they played a part to getting me back. And what I realized with stuff like this, it's ongoing. It's not like, okay, I'm out of it. There's moments where it's lurking, like, hey man, remember me? I'm like, fuck, you're still here? So I know a lot of people are dealing with it, and the main thing is consistency. Training helps, of course. And just being outside, just doing stuff to not stay in that dark place.
Hey, Uriah. Coach Shafe and yourself spoke to me earlier this week about how much the game has changed and how people take on different personas and attempt to advance their career. What was the significance of that Be Real t-shirt you wore down to the ring?
Well, that was influenced by Mike Tyson. I don't know if y'all saw that walkout. I mean, that scared me watching it. I didn't play the song because I was like, I don't want to play that song. I don't want to be too scary. But it was just to send a message to be real, man. There's a lot of fake people out there. There's fake people in this room right now. But I love the fact that I can be me. And here's the thing about being yourself. Regardless, you're going to be hated or liked. If you're a piece of shit, be a piece of shit. If you're a good guy, be a good guy. If you're an asshole, kudos. But be your fucking self. So I stay mottoed to that. And I influence people to be themselves because we all know the world's changing. You can't say shit no more, right? So if I can be me, I can go to bed feeling good about me.
And following the fight, you spoke about wanting to continue this new pursuit of boxing. You made it clear that you want this Jake Paul fight next. If he were to go another direction and that fight weren't to be made, do you want to stay in this boxing realm, maybe fight a former UFC fighter or a different professional boxer?
Honestly, man, I'm just having fun. I mean, again, when I was on vacation, I got this call from my coach. I was like, all right, but I was still in my weird little world of trying to figure out what to do, and plus I was partially depressed as well. So the training definitely got me out of it, but I'm just having fun. This was a complete different type of setting. The training, of course, wasn't grueling on the body. MMA is hella worse. The getting up and grabbing motherfuckers. This was just pure skill, and technicality. It was just the hands, the movement, and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, if the opportunity strikes, I'll definitely do it. Like I said, I love to compete. I'm still in my prime. I still got some more miles on me, and if something comes my way, I'm doing it. But for the most part, I'm just having fun. And yeah, if there's a potential chance to kick that dude's ass, fuck yeah, I'll do it.
Hey, Uriah. Ben Davis from MMA Island.
What's
In
up?
mixed martial arts, you were known for the kicks. How did you feel your hands were tonight?
There's a weird thing with that. With the moment I put boxing gloves on, I forget about my legs. My legs don't exist. So it was an easy transition. And I can say as a mixed martial artist, it's like going to grappling class only. You just adjust to it, and going to kickboxing class only. You just adjust to it. And that's what I love about mixed martial arts. You get to pick and take away your weapons and stuff like that. So the adjustment is not a problem at all. Of course, there are moments I'm like, man, I could kick this motherfucker. Like, the open is right there. But, it's good to maintain that discipline. And I saw a lot of holes in my game. I felt it. And it's just getting comfortable in that environment. So I'm excited to go back and train those holes.
Now, after watching Jake Paul go the distance with Anderson Silva, how do you feel a matchup between yourself and him would go? Do you think that you'd find the finish?
Man, this is the part where I got to be careful what I say, huh? I definitely think I can take him. I mean, he has an awkward style. I was watching him, and his style will lure you in, you know. And it's almost like it's hard to hit him the way he stands a certain way and he throws these awkward punches, and almost the fights from all his fights, he almost does the same thing. But I definitely think I could give him a challenge because I'll come at him. You know, he'll hit me, but I'll come at him. I don't back up with boxing gloves on. I'll take a couple shots, but I'll come at you. And Le'Veon was probably one of the hardest hitting dudes with those gloves I ever felt. So I don't think Jake hits that hard. Yeah, bro, you don't. Yeah, I said it.
Uriah, I know that you have tremendous respect for Anderson Silva, and he's a beloved figure in combat sports. Watching Jake Paul beat him, does that spark a fire in you?
Fuck
do you
yeah, it
wanna
did,
fight him
man.
even more?
You should have heard me in the background. I was like, revenge is coming.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it sucked. It even sucked when I had to fight him. I mean, Anderson has done so much for the sport. He inspired a lot of people, you know. Some people in this room. He's an icon. He's a legend. When people say I'm a legend, I'm like, that dude is a legend. And I have so much respect for him. It hurt to watch, but, you know, I got to separate those emotions because at the end of the day, it's the skill set. And Jake Paul did what he had to do to win. But, yeah, I definitely felt it for Anderson. But to me, he's still one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest, for being at his age, doing what he does and moving the way he does. And I remember when I fought him, I was throwing punches, and he would move just enough. And I'm like, I know what the fuck that means. I got to be careful. So I take nothing away from Anderson. This doesn't even mean anything for what this guy solidified in this game. He's still the best.
And you have the mic in front of you. I don't know if you want to send a specific message to Jake Paul.
You want me to, isn't he here? I can say it to his face. Isn't that better?
Well, he's not here in this room specifically.
Well, when he gets here, y'all tell him that I say, what's up, bro? You know what that means.
What sort of impact do you feel like Jake's victory has had on the sport of boxing?
What?
What sort of impact do you feel like Jake's victory has on the sport of boxing? Because obviously he beat a legend of the game. So
He survived. Let's be. I mean, listen. There's a new crowd, right? I'm sure there's more kids out there watching than adults. So the kids love him. What are they? Gen Z? Is that what they call them? Yeah, they love him. Millennials too. They love him. It's good for the sport. It's a good payday. It's entertaining. Listen, the sport is changing. Let's be real here. It's changing. It's entertaining now. It's entertainment. It's not about integrity and honor and all that stuff anymore. It's entertainment. Can you sell? Can you put people in the seats? Can you become a character that we can relate to? Can you say some dumb or weird shit, or wear some weird shit, or look weird or whatever to put people in the seat? That's what it comes down to. I'm aware of this. I'm not going to fall victim to that. But if it gravitates those people to come in and pay y'all money, then fuck it, do it. I'm here to fuck shit up, get paid, and get the fuck out.
Uriah, did you see anything from Jake's skill set that impressed you at all?
His tattoos. No, I'm kidding. From his, you said his skill set?
Yeah, from what did you see from his boxing today? Was there anything that impressed you from him?
Listen, I'm not here to bash people, man. This sport is hard to do, you know? And even going back to Le'Veon Bell, he took a risk coming in here. I know everybody was like, oh, you're going to die against Uriah. I'm like, and some people wrote or said, or I should have finished him around. I'm like, this dude is pretty good. He's actually pretty good. So I think Jake is getting better. You know, it's all about consistency. I've watched his first fight to now, and he's actually getting better. But it's all about adjustment. And that's why I like mixed martial arts so much, because you can adjust. But boxing, you can only adjust so much. But honestly, I'm going to say I think he's gotten better. But I can see so many holes, and it's just making the right adjustment to, you know, take him out.
We have time for one last question. Anybody?
Be careful with your question.
It's not for you. Safe. Coach
That's
Safe.
fucked up. That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
How was this week? How was this experience for you? It's definitely different than these weeks at the Apex recently. Can you just reflect on the experience overall?
I mean, I did this with Darren Williams when he fought Frank Gore. Similar setup, same people, ShowTime. So I kind of was ready for it. But Le'Veon is tough. I don't think people really realize how hard this is. And Uriah hits hard as shit. I mean, he hits hard. And Le'Veon ate those shots, no problem. So it was a little bit more work than we anticipated. I thought he was going to crumble under the pressure, but he did not. So afterwards, we went to the back, and I got on a knee, actually started icing his eye, and I just told him, I said, dude, you are so tough. Like, I don't think you understand. Nobody takes those risks on their second fight in boxing. Go back and look at Canelo Alvarez. Go back and look at Floyd Mayweather. No one fights someone who's seasoned for their second fight. And Uriah is seasoned. Even though he's an MMA fighter, he was a kickboxer before. He has a lot of experience. So I really think the story is, Le'Veon did a really great job, and we have a lot of respect for him. And that's it. I think Jake is getting better too, and we'll see what happens. But the promotion's been good to us. They've taken care of us, and we had a good time. This is really more about having fun for us. And boxing is very hard. I'm not trying to have that argument, but it's just a little bit different, and there's a lot kind of less involved. So for us, this is just kind of fun, and we had fun, and we got the job done, and I'm at the Apex next week. So, and it's nothing but love for the UFC. The UFC's been fantastic too. So we like to jump from both.
And last thing, real quick, you spoke about fun. You mentioned fun. Uriah said that he would love to have Le'Veon come down to Fortis and Dallas and train. Would that be something you think would be fun?
Absolutely. I mean, when you're a coach, what you look for in an athlete is you look for toughness. You look for someone that won't quit. Everybody, can learn, but if they have no heart and they quit when they get under pressure, then where is there to go? And Le'Veon showed so much heart.
Word.
And so, he's so tough. And I think that, people just kind of really need to understand that. And again, people are going to talk, but I really hope that he does come and train with us.
Welcome.
And I think that what he said. I think Le'Veon could do well. He's an elite athlete, and he showed that. I mean, he never broke in there. And honestly, I thought he was probably going to when he got cracked. So nothing but respect for him and for his team. And
I was trying to put him away.
he was.
I really was.
He was. So yeah, we would love to have him there. Absolutely.
Thank you, Ashton. Congratulations.
All right. Thanks.
Okay, great. Gotta pump up your ISO. It's at 16 right now. Oh, higher? At 16? It looks really dark. Let me see, I'll see right now. Oh, you're 16. I didn't think that compared to the fight in December, much more entertaining. Mi esperanza que esta llegue a las noches donde ya. La primera que entremos no tenemos más export. Ya no.
y'all doing?
Ashton, congratulations. Give us an opening comment on your win tonight.
I mean, first off, I'd like to thank God and my family friends coming out here. And also, my opponent, recently he just told Jake and us that his mother is going through issues, I think. It's a health issue at the end of the day. So send prayers to her. And thank Jake and his team and everyone giving me this opportunity in Arizona for having me. There you go.
What's up, Ashton? Raul Lauren here from Low Kick MMA. I mean, first round knockout doesn't really get much better than that, but I just want to know, how do you rate your performance tonight?
I give it an A+. I feel like the outfit topped it off. Preparation at the same time. I mean, the minions, you know, are just minions. Like, you know, you would expect like Guru and everyone else to do like the big, you know, jobs and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, minions, you know, come in and do, you know, the heavy duty work and, you know, unexpectedly. And I feel like I'm in the same position.
Ashton, congrats, man. 8-0, 8 knockouts. You knocked out Rodriguez in 1 round. Ryan Garcia, you're only 18 and you knock him out in the first round. Ryan Garcia did the same thing at Madison Square Garden 4 years ago. What do you think that says about you as a fighter early on? You were able to equal what someone like Ryan Garcia was able to do.
And I equal, he did better.
You actually did better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, I feel like I only compare myself to myself. So I just feel like I did better than my last fight. That's it.
And could you just take me through the knockout sequence?
You know, open up to make him open up. So I think I lunged in with a punch, kind of made a mistake at the same time. And then that's when you start unloading and, you know, I got defensive. But then I saw, you know, how wild he was. And, you know, in previous fights, he's pretty wild. So I gave it like, you know, half a second and, you know, counted that.
Ashton, back here. Hi, you're really young, so how do you sort of maintain keeping yourself focused and, I guess, not doing the standard things that most guys your age would be doing?
I've been kind of groomed for that since I was about 8 years old, but at the same time, I feel like my dad kind of helped me out through all of it and still now.
And dealing with like the media training and everything, are you still adjusting to it? Is it comfortable for you, or like how do you handle it?
It's pretty comfortable. Of course, it's a lot more than what I'm used to, but like I tell a lot of people, I grew up in the lights at an early age, so I mean, I'm pretty much comfortable throughout the whole thing. Thank you.
Hey, Ashton. Earlier this week, you told me that you started boxing 10 years ago, but your dad has actually been training you since you were just 3 years old. How much has he influenced you in your career, and do you think you'd be here without him?
I mean, he influenced me a lot, and at the same time, like you just said, I don't think I wouldn't be in this position without him. Like, I feel like I'll be playing another sport or something else, so I'm, you know, heavily thankful that, you know, he kind of kept me pushing into the sport and had me realize, you know, the opportunities and, you know, the talent I had in this sport.
And we know you get nerves before your own fight, the butterflies, everyone gets those nerves, but how are your nerves when you're watching Jake fight tonight, when he's fighting one of the combat sports goats, Anderson Silva? What are your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings like during that fight?
Yeah, that's a lot different from my fight. Like, when I'm fighting, I don't have as much nerves, but when, like, someone close to mine, or, you know, someone that I'm rooting for, my nerves is pretty heavy. So watching him, you know, fight Anderson, it was crazy. I was like, you know, kept turning around, kept talking to my friends and family, like, he got to win this round, Like, it's just a lot different from, you know, when I'm in the ring.
And you spoke about not wanting to compare yourself to others and having that mentality, only comparing yourself to what you are capable of. So, in that note, where do you see yourself in 5, maybe 10 years? I don't want to sound like a job interview, but where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I definitely see myself close to the end of my career, where, you know, be possibly have you know, belts in different weight classes, because I feel like as I'm growing right now, the weight, maintaining this weight is pretty hard, and I feel like I want to, you know, hopefully get a belt in the next 2 years, and I feel like in 2 years I'll be at a different weight class, so I feel like I have, you know, belts under me in different weight classes.
Hey, Ashton. Ben Davis from MMA Island. Now, we talked about your disciplined approach to training and your lifestyle, but what's the celebration going to look like tonight?
The same as usual. Just kicking it with my family and stuff like that. I don't think I'm too much of a party guy. I like to, just, like a normal day. I feel like it's just a normal day in the gym. Just, another goal we just accomplished, and just celebrating with my family.
And now you mentioned watching the Paul and Anderson Silva fight. What was your reaction to Jake knocking him down?
It was pretty crazy. I knew it was gonna be that punch, but like towards the end of the rounds, it was like the 8th round, and I thought like he didn't have it in him anymore to put him down. And when that punch landed, it was kind of like, whoa, like maybe he could take him out after that.
Marcus Hayes, Fight Hub TV. This question's for your dad, actually. Dad, you put countless amount of time and hours in with your son. What does a night like this tonight feel like to watch your son excel on such a big stage?
It was amazing. Can you guys hear me? Okay, yeah. It was amazing. I mean, it's just one step closer to our goal, but it was amazing to see him take on that much pressure, sold out crowd, millions watching, and he does it like a true professional, like a seasoned vet. He had, you guys seen it, so it was amazing to me, but we got that done, time to move on.
As a parent with 2 pretty outstanding sons myself, at what point did you look at your little man and say, man, this dude is going to be something special in the ring? At what point did you do that?
Man, I looked at him when he was very young and knew he was something special, period, to the world. I told him that when we was on the car ride. I said, you're going to impact this world. But in the ring, I've been training him since he was 3 years old. When we went to the gym the first week, I knew he had something. So at about 7 years old. But I always knew he was going to be special and impact the world. You guys just at the tip of the iceberg. He got way more to come and way more outside of boxing.
So, Ashton, you talked about your long-term plans. Is there anything you tell yourself or that your team tells you just maybe to keep yourself a little bit humble or to not get too high on this victory?
I feel like my team kind of wants me to express the cockiness a little bit more. I feel like they think I'm too humble.
And last one for me, did Jake Paul give any words of encouragement before the fight or just a message of anything?
Yeah, at the end of the day, he was, always in my corner and telling me that, like at the press conference, he knew it was coming, a knockout was coming.
Any other questions, guys? Is Long Beach coming? Strong Beach?
Strong Beach is always with me.
Thank you, Ashton. All right, thank you, Ashton.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay.
Good night, guys.
How's everybody doing? We're here for Jake Paul.
Hey, hey, hey.
On behalf of Jake and I, we want to thank ShowTime, first and foremost, for working with us for his last 3 events. We want to thank Gila River Arena or Desert Diamond Arena. And most of all, we want to thank Anderson Silva for accepting this fight and putting on the tremendous team to support Jake. Go ahead.
Jake over here. You've obviously long admired Anderson Silva, and you said yourself you were going to win this fight all week. But now that it is a reality, what are the emotions now that you've defeated one of your childhood heroes?
It's surreal. I don't think it'll hit me until like a couple weeks from now. I feel like I'm living in a movie. You know, he was the one that told me I could accomplish anything if I set my mind to it. You couldn't have written this in a story. It feels like a movie. And just being in the ring with him, seeing his heart, you know, his courage, his bravery. That's the champion that I looked up to, and he's such an inspiration. And you know, I had to go in there and match his heart tonight. A heart that I saw through the TV screen when I
dropped him. You said after when you.
I mean, I was throwing. We were just throwing, and he was taking hard. I was dropping sparring partners all camp with those shots to the body. Someone like that, you got to dig deep, and that's what I did tonight.
I am with you. The whole kind of picturing you bombarded with requests to fight, and how do you handle that? How do you go through that list of?
Yeah, look, I think this fight did 2 things. It'll make a much higher level people want to fight me, and it'll make the ones who are already scared, like we saw earlier this year, they're not going to want to fight me. So we'll see. That I'm sure there's a lot of names. I haven't even gone on Twitter yet to look at everything and all the call outs, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot. And it's back to the drawing board, and we'll see who it is. But Nate Diaz was here acting like a bitch. Everyone wants that fight. He tried to fight people in the hallway. Nate, stop fighting people for free. Let's do it in the ring, okay? I know you're a little slow, buddy, but it's okay. We can make that fight happen. And you too, Canelo. You're getting old. You looked weird against Triple G. I still want that fight as well. And I think now, like I said it 18 months ago, I want Canelo. And then I was sitting in a room just like this, and everyone was like, oh, fucking idiot. And then now, 18 months later, here we are. And when I say that, maybe people are taking it a little bit more seriously now. And I still mean it, and I still want that fight.
Are you the one that strictly makes those decisions? Are you the one that's actually powering through those requests and choosing? Do you actually have someone in your mind that you kind of want and you go for, or do you go through those requests? And
all of the above, and it just who makes sense at the right time and who actually wants to do it and who will actually show up and be a professional and make weight. But it is who I want. Even people on my team, my coaches and stuff, were like, well, are you sure you want Anderson? Are you sure? And I was like, yes, I can do this.
okay, well, I know that Joe Riggs has been calling you out. Is he someone that you've considered?
I don't know who the fuck that is.
I was afraid you were going to say that, which I find kind of funny, because anyone who knows Anderson Silva definitely knows who Joe Riggs is, and he's local. So, I mean, I just think that would be a perfect matchup for you, and I hope it's something that you'll consider.
Thank you.
Jacob, right over here. Jake, right over here. Congrats on the win tonight, man. You mentioned Nate Diaz, and we've seen video already of this incident. It seemed like he slapped a member of your team. It's hard to tell. Can you elaborate on what happened?
I haven't seen the video, and I didn't really know what happened. I just know there was an altercation with my team.
Jake wasn't even aware of the altercation before the fight.
Yeah, I was focused on what was going on, but I was made aware of it afterwards, and it's typical of him. That's what he likes to do. He's a street gangster. He likes to act tough, and he's really not. Like, why are you trying to beat someone up in a hallway, bro?
I mean, speaking of the MMA community, you and the MMA community have a very interesting relationship, over these last few years. You just beat a genuine legend of the sport, probably one of the greatest fighters of all time. Like, how do you feel like, is this the win, do you think, that will get you the respect of that community?
I think it has to. I want to watch the fight back, but, people were just saying it was a really good fight, a brawl, a war, awesome back and forth. And so I think people will respect my game. I showed different parts of my arsenal, defense, all of that, fighting on the inside with a legend who's really good at fighting on the inside. I think this fight definitely has to gain me some respect, and I'm only 2.5 years in. So this is just the start. I'm just getting warmed up with what I can accomplish. And this is the first fight in my career where I felt comfortable in the ring, right? And to just think about it. No one 5 fights in is fighting 8-round fights. No one. They build them up 4 rounds, 6 rounds. I mean, Tommy Fury is still fighting 6-round fights, right? And he grew up his whole entire life doing this sport, right? And his brother's the heavyweight champion of the world. My brother and I are fucking from YouTube. So I'm doing something that no one's ever done before, and I'm just learning my bearings in the ring, but we'll see what happens after this.
But I want to add, he loves the MMA community, right? He loves MMA fighters. He loves trying to be a spokesperson for the sport and bringing it along with himself. Of course, he's honest. He wears his thoughts on his sleeve, and he'll attack someone if he sees something that he doesn't agree with. But make no mistake, Jake Paul is a huge fan of MMA.
I was a fan of MMA before boxing. Yeah, and so, and guys like Anderson Silva. So, oh, wow.
I'm sorry. I just took a shower.
My God.
Good job.
Thank you, man.
Jake, Keith Heidig from BoxingScene.com. Congratulations.
Thank you.
As the rounds were unfolding, particularly in the second half of the fight, how close of a fight did you feel it was, and what did you think the scorecards would read, particularly after you got the knockdown in the 8th round?
I thought it was 6 rounds to 2, which is what I think pretty much the judges had it scored as. My coaches were telling me in the corner, like, hey, you got that round. You didn't get that round. So, yeah, I mean, it was tough all the way throughout, a couple close rounds. And I knew I just had to keep on working and working and working. But after I got the knockdown, yeah, and I knew that I had it in the bag.
Hey, Jake. Ben Davis from MMA Island. Congrats on the win. Deji expressed how impressed he was with your skills. No interest in KSI at this time?
Man, bro, he won't fight me, especially after this fight. Like, guy needs to keep on playing FIFA and making shitty rap music. I don't really know what the guy does. He's fighting bums, trash cans. I'm trying to become a world champion. And he's just like, I don't know what the fuck that kid's doing.
Jake, right here, over here, Chris. Do you feel like this fight? I asked you this before, but with Anderson's age and him being in the 3rd fight since he retired, I know you mentioned it in the ring, but do you feel like this is moving you closer to that boxing legitimacy? And you say you feel like a world champion. Do you think this fight moves you closer to getting to that point confidently?
For sure. When you get 8 hard rounds with a legend like Anderson Silva, it's just really good experience under the belt, right? And he just beat a former world champion, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He beat him 8 rounds to 0. So he schooled the former world champion. So this definitely moves me in that direction. And this guy is insanely tough. So it's just great experience under my belt. And like I said, it's only been 2.5 years. So, who knows what I can accomplish. I know, but I'll show you guys.
Jake, 2 more for Jake, and then we'll let Anderson have the floor.
Jake, right here. Andreas from Sporting News. The MMA community may love you, but do you have a message for Dana White? Because he was very critical of you taking this particular fight with Anderson Silva.
Dana? Bro, you said I wouldn't do this, and I did it, and with flying colors. But he's in hiding. He's trying to do everything he can to stop my run, to sabotage my fights. He hates me. He hates what I'm doing. He hates I'm exposing his business. And now, we're gonna band together and create a United Fighters Association to help UFC fighters, all MMA fighters, and boxers to get more fighter pay, long-term health care. And that's a big undertaking that I've been wanting to do for the whole entire time of my career since I met Nikisa. I said it to him on the first day. I want to make a fighters union. So, man, Dana White can suck this dick.
Jake, Michelle Joy Phelps with Behind the Gloves, right back here, sorry. When you first started, obviously you started fighting other YouTubers. They still seem to be looming, as in like wanting to still call you out. There have been various names that have been mentioned, even from yourself. But as you're trying to edge towards, like you said, being a world champion, is that sort of becoming further and further away from you in making those type of fights, as opposed to continuing to fight other combat fighters?
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't think any of the influencers will fight me or want to fight me. I've said that since, a year ago, but especially now. And, if someone makes sense, like a big name in the space, then maybe we can do something. But I want to fight big names. I want to fight boxers. I want to fight anyone who's going to give me a challenge where fans will be like, I don't know who's going to win this fight. Those are the fights I like to make, and that was exactly what we did here. I think the fight could have gone either way. There was ways where he could win, and there's ways where I could win.
Hey Jake, right over here.
I just have to ask because your brother was here, Logan. What did he tell you, and what are you going to tell him for his Roman Reigns WWE fight? Did you inspire each other from tonight?
Yeah, man, he gave me a speech in the locker room. I love that man so much, and he just put it all in perspective as to what we are accomplishing together. And it's so amazing to have a partner in crime. The kid's a genius. He's such a kind person. I look up to him. He makes me a better person. He inspires me every day. And I can't believe next weekend he's going to take on another massive, massive name in combat sports in the WWE Championship. It's surreal what we're building. I think we might be the new Kardashians. Hey, but who's going to... Never mind.
Jake, real quick. You have got your hat, you have got your cheeks. What do you have for Anderson Silva? Really quick.
I got respect for him.
Thank you, brother.
Guys, let's
Thank
get a
you.
hug together.
Good job. Good job.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
It was turn.
Thank you, my friend. Okay.
Yeah, questions for Anderson, guys? Go ahead.
Yes. I'm sorry, I'm from Brazil. I'm going to ask Anderson in Portuguese. Anderson, back here.
Cadê você?
Here, aqui.
Onde?
Direito, aqui.
Tá, tô te vendo. Fala comigo.
Anderson, primeiro de tudo, eu queria que você falasse um pouco sobre essa experiência, né? 47 anos ainda se testando no ringue. Deu para ver que você fez de tudo um pouco lá dentro hoje. Como é que você se sentiu e o que você achou assim do combate?
Assim, guys, I go speak in Portuguese first, right? Is okay?
Yes.
Okay. So, eu acho que eu treinei muito para essa luta e todo mundo conhece o meu jeito de lutar, mas eu não sei, eu acho que eu falhei na estratégia, né? Eu até estava conversando com os meus treinadores no quarto agora, e eu não entendi. Realmente, eu mesmo tô chocado de não ter feito tudo que eu treinei durante todo o treinamento, durante todo o camp. Eu acho que falhei ali, não estava achando a distância. Mas não é desculpa, né? O Jake foi bem melhor do que eu, não tem desculpa da idade, até porque eu lutei todos os rounds bem, não senti o gás em nenhum momento. E ele foi melhor, né? Estrategicamente ele foi melhor, conseguiu impor o jogo dele melhor do que o meu e venceu. So, I just try to speak in English now. So, the Jake is better than me today because I try to put in my game inside and my whole strategy, and that's I talk to my coach in the room. You know, I don't found my distance and I fail in my strategy, and Jake better than me today. That's it.
E agora, o futuro, assim, como você se vê? O que você quer fazer? Porque você é um cara que é super inquieto, a gente sabe que você vai...
não consigo parar não, filha. Não dá. I can't stop. You ask me about you stop or not, I can't stop.
Então a gente pode te ver no ringue ainda.
Com certeza. Yes, for sure.
Anderson, actually, I mean, when you look at the punch stats, you landed more power punches on him. It seemed as if, you know, from watching the fight, for some of us anyway, that you were outboxing him. Did you feel like the scorecards were favoring you as you went into that final round, honestly?
Wow, you know, I failed in the strategy, you know, in the last round, the Jake take the good punch, you know, and my base is not correct, you know, that's my coach saying, my base is not correct, and that's I take the punch. But I don't feel knockout, I don't feel power, but I'm not in good balance, and that's I take the punch. Of course, I have more experience, and I doing this a lot, and this is happening with me again, one more time, you know. The last time it happened to me when I fight with, I forgot the name, the guy in UFC. No, yeah, Uriah Hall, yeah, Ryan. I fell 2 times in that situation, you know, and that time I just talked to my coach. I don't believe it because I training hard for don't do the same stupid position, you know. But I'm human. I'm superhero, but sometimes my half human fail. Yeah.
And Jake talked you into joining him in this bet of, you know, trying to create a UFC union, so to speak.
That's the truth.
How committed to that are you?
It's not if UFC unit. It's a unit for help and doing something better for MMA fighters, you know. And I think Jake and I can do something huge for help this new generation, you know.
Anderson,
Oi,
aqui.
cadê você? Eu tô
Aqui
te
do lado
vendo,
da
fala
Evelyn aqui.
comigo.
Tudo bom?
Tô bem.
Duas
Eu não
perguntas.
tô bem, né, cara? Eu perdi, porra. Tá, mas fala.
Duas perguntas rápidas. Eu sei que você acabou de lutar e é talvez cedo para isso, mas uma revanche faz parte dos seus planos? Te interessa? Te interessaria?
Cara, eu assim, ó, eu costumo falar o seguinte, né? Quando você perde, você tem que entender que você perdeu. Você tem que ver no que você errou, tentar melhorar e não ficar achando desculpa, né, cara? O cara foi melhor do que eu, não tem nada a ver com a minha idade, não tem nada a ver com absolutamente nada de errado com a técnica, e sim com a estratégia que eu fiz. Mas eu não tenho essa coisa de, revanche e etc, entendeu? Eu acho que se tiver que acontecer, vai acontecer. Eu acho que tem que dar os méritos para ele. Ele foi melhor do que eu e a gente tem que ver o que vai acontecer. E talvez aconteça, talvez não, mas eu tô tranquilo, sabe? Eu tô bem tranquilo. A única coisa que tá me corroendo é realmente eu ter errado na estratégia que eu treinei com os meus coaches, né? Então, isso tá me consumindo um pouquinho aqui. Tipo, porra, caraca, é muito burro, cara. Como é que você faz um negócio desse de novo? Mas é isso, a gente é humano e às vezes não é teu dia e você erra, e é assim mesmo. Eu tenho muita experiência nesse esporte de combate, já perdi muitas vezes, perdi em momentos que eu não podia perder, ganhei em momentos que eram importantes eu ganhar, e assim, cara, a vida que segue. Vambora, vamos pra cima, pro próximo desafio.
Maravilha. Ela te perguntou sobre o seu futuro. Eu queria te perguntar, o que você... Duas coisas sobre o futuro, na verdade, primeiro do Jake Paul, até onde você acha que ele pode chegar com as habilidades dele no boxe, e até onde esse modelo de negócio, de celebridades lutando, youtubers lutando, até onde esse modelo de negócio pode ir?
Cara, eu acredito que é um modelo de negócio fantástico, né? Eu tenho uma visão seguinte, eu acho que o próximo passo para esse modelo de negócio do novo normal é agora os bilionários começarem a se enfrentar. Eu tenho certeza que isso vai acontecer no futuro próximo. Cara, assim, o céu é o limite, né, cara? O céu é o limite. Eu acho que muitas pessoas falaram muito dele, né? E continuam falando porque ele tá incomodando todo mundo, né, cara? Então, assim, as pessoas podem falar, mas o problema de você falar muito é você não ter a coragem de fazer o que ele tá fazendo, é ter a coragem de vir aqui e lutar, de treinar, de perder peso e vir aqui se dedicar e fazer show para todo mundo, né, cara? Então, assim, não tem o que falar, né? As pessoas falam e tal. É lógico que quando você tem um sonho, você corre atrás do seu sonho e você vai cutucando todo mundo para você chegar no teu sonho. Uma hora você chega onde você deseja, e é o que ele está fazendo. E espero que ele chegue onde ele quer.
Hey Anderson, Ben Davis from MMA Island. Even with that knockdown in round number 8, were you confident you had done enough when it went to the scorecards?
Wow, you know, I just try to follow the orders of my coach, and I talked to my coach in the room. I said, I don't believe I take knockout in the last round. That's stupid. I fell on the strategy, you know, and that's I feel, and that's I talk to my coach. I failed on my mission, and I back to home training better and try to make the strategy correct in the next time, you know. That's
Marcus Hayes
Anderson,
right
here. Anderson, back here.
Right, you.
Hello, how are you?
Okay, all right.
You spoke in Portuguese. I couldn't understand exactly everything, but when asked about a potential rematch with Jake Paul, it was a very, very competitive fight. Some people thought you were winning before the 8th round. Is a rematch something that interests you? Is that something that you'd be open for?
The rematch, I respond to the guy, the Brazilian guy now. I think it's very important that people respect the moment, the Jake's moment now. I'm Black Samurai, I know I lost. I know I failed in my whole strategy, and my opponent win, and I need to respect that. I'm not the same the other guys fight with Jake, I need revenge, I need rematch. I don't know. Let's go see what happened, and maybe, I don't know.
And you mentioned inside of the ring that you're absolutely going to continue. There's no doubt about that. So what is next for you? If you can, I know we're just fresh off the fight, but if you can look in the future, what do you think is next? What things do you want to get accomplished before you?
Wow, my next challenge for myself is I go to the Jiu-Jitsu tournament in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi, and we'll see. I just go back home and start. I go to visit my parents in Brazil, and I go start training with my coach, Ricardo de la Riva, and I go to Dubai for continue my training with Ramon Lemos, and training to the new tournament in Dubai, Abu Dhabi.
Anderson, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night, guys. Thank you.
What's your name? Get the mic. Are you a manager? Are you with the press?